Hello everybody, Gamer here. Oop, let's turn that off so there's no backdraft. There we go. But as you can tell, it's the earliest that someone could possibly record. You probably aren't going to see this while it's up, but this is Outer Worlds, game that just released today as of 8 hours ago. And as you can see, I'm already past the introduction, and I'm already level 2. But I'm not here to talk about how I'm just speeding along. I'm here to show you what I'm doing now. As you can tell, I've just leveled up, and I have stuff in mind that I want to buff. There we go. That's a little jackety. Aunt Cleo. Apparently there's like some sort of, hold up. There we go. Apparently there's some sort of feud between Auntie Cleo and Spacer's Choice. That's what I can gather so far. Alright, so these are the starting perks. We have Toughness, more health, Slow the World, more Tactical Time Dilation, which apparently you get like bullet time just by moving around. Lone Wolf, plus 25% damage when alone in a party. Strider, plus 25% walk speed. Cheetah, plus 20% sprint speed. High Maintenance, minus 25% weapon armor durability loss. Precision, companion crit chance. Resilient, more armor rating. A few bits more, looks like vendors will have more ammo and consumables. Pack Mule, more carrying capacity. For those of you who like to take everything that isn't nailed down. Tactical Time Dilation recharge rate. Fast travel when over encumbered. I know that was huge in Fallout. Bonus XP from companion kills and vendor prices. Now, I'm actually going to try Strider. Yeah, I do appear to be a little faster. Alright, let me just go talk.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, ma'am, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
Okay, so as I learned that your skills can be very useful here. Although the starting challenge checks are pretty low. I learned that you do not want to go over there just starting off. That is bad. Do not go over there. Unless you have some sort of trick that I don't, or for some reason you start off with a grenade if there's grenades in this game. So I'm going to try going up here. Yep, and he gave me that exact tooltip last time, so there's obviously enemies up here. I'm going to save. Sorry if I'm clearing my throat a lot. I don't like the feeling of anything being there. And apparently tall grass is your best friend, even though this doesn't seem like tall grass. Y is to switch weapons. Or triangle if you're on PlayStation. Apparently you can still be detected when in small grass if an enemy gets too close. You don't see me. Ooh, yeah, I should probably use this. Oh, that's my healing kits. Okay. These guys killed a primal. That's actually what killed me over there. So these guys are officially more badass than me. Yeah, let me actually read that. What is a bit cartridge? Armor management. To keep this, because those tech skills actually are handy. Some guys right here. I like the aesthetics that are going on here. I wonder if I can grind a little bit for some EXP before I actually head into the town. Canid Alpha. Although I get the feeling that that's going to end up exactly like it did with the primal, so I'm actually going to turn back. Actually, hold up. Let me just share the stream real quick so you guys can actually come see me. That is not the stream name. That's not the stream name, but alright. Hold up. Might be able to futz with it. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's how you change the name. Okay. Okay. Enough of me just standing here looking at a pause screen. Explore. Holding Y is your tactical menu. Okay. Hold X to put your stuff away. The controls seem a little delayed, but... well, aside from combat. Hello there, little thing.
Whoa, hey. Where'd you come from?
I came
Don't
from
go ambling
space.
out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Company policy. If it was up to me, I'd put the whole town 10 feet under, free of charge. 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up.
Alright.
Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad.
I'll be back. Journal. Tractors. Alright, so I'm gonna go over and talk to this guy. Who's all the way over here. Unless this is just like a back entrance. Nope, Ludwig. Hey Ludwig, I need your shit. Your door is wide open. Good sir.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. That's right. That's what I've been saying. We gotta square our shoulders and stand ever vigilant. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance?
You're a weird one. Going to Edgewater. He's still paying for grave sites. That's jankety. Better put my gun away. I don't know if the game will actually take that into account, me just walking around with a gun.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute.
Ooh. This place seems really jankety. Cantina.
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy. You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about his mental state? Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows. Sounds like he's already told you. You may as well hear it from me. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching, and soon I shall be ushered through the great cannery in the skies. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave, and now he wants to charge me for the other one. You are? Oh, wow. First time anyone's ever told me that. I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see your way to freelancing for me, I could really use the help. Couple hours out of your day and some light second story work, that's all. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me. I'll do what I can. You will not find any guards within sight of that old place. Marauders, on the other hand. I have it on good authority. There's a gang of them squatting there. I advise stepping softly. So you'll do it then?
Yeah, I can do it.
You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, Law, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it.
No, it's gotta be the spleen. Why is it always gotta be the
making a
spleen?
mistake working for Abernathy.
How about you?
Excuse me. I'm Esther Blaine, Spacer's Choice Actuary. I overheard your talk with Abernathy. I hope you're not thinking about getting him that medicine. Abernathy is a well-known hypochondriac. Anthracillin is wasted on him. You're better off selling it to me instead. All I'm saying is Abernathy's worked in this town longer than some of us been alive. How do I put this gently? He's got a lot of cobwebs up in his attic.
Mood.
I probably shouldn't tell you. Don't want you implicated for what I'm trying to do. All right, here's a summary. A lot of sick people in this town, and we don't have the medicine to treat them all. Can't reach out to corporate without crossing a river of red tape, so I'm reaching out to you. I'm paid better than Abernathy. Whatever he's giving you, I will do you one better. That's all I can ask of you.
Choices. This person's in the barbershop. Howdy
Please
doody.
don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs.
Oh, you're one of those.
Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. We don't believe in free anything here in Edgewater. We're a Spacer's Choice company. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions. As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. I have to be, if only to prepare myself for my inevitable dressing down at the hands of corporate. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. by the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I'd proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers! No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. Much obliged.
Dang it. Conrad. I need to talk to Conrad. It doesn't appear to be a stamina meter either. Hello? Now I've gone too far up.
Please hold him. I must explain this to you.
The grease monkey are
I'm not supposed to be here just yet. At least I don't want to.
You're some sort of freak. You're safer inside the walls.
Can I stop whipping my gun out with every motion?
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable.
Yet you sell them relentlessly!
Eugene wasn't family. Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism.
Jesus!
I'm plenty serious. In fact, I'm a little upset Eugene didn't think things through. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice. Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
Oh my god! I hate Spacer's Choice already. Fuck this. Jesus.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Wilson!
A friend of mine died a couple weeks.
That's a dumpster. What is? Constable. Cantina. Barbershop. Where's the general goods store? I need to be fucking Obi-Wan in this case, except instead of just having the high ground, I need to also have the moral high ground. So for Spacer's Choice, I have the moral high ground. They just whip out something like, you underestimate my paycheck.
Fancy threads. That some kind of hibernation suit? You run into any trouble? Conrad's barbershop is a yawning pit that swallows his every bit. I keep telling him he should cut a few corners. Skimp out on the disinfectant. You gotta put the squeeze on Conrad. Find some dirt on him. Maybe check his back room. That's the word, extortion. Been on the tip of my tongue all day.
These guys are not a... They do it so shamelessly, too. Dear fuck. Yeah, oh, gee, I didn't know, Kame. The tooltip at the beginning didn't suggest it made me stealth. Oh, Jesus. Can I stop whipping my gun out with every 2 seconds?
What can I do for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? I am a Spacer's Choice certified surgeon, and if you must know, I can stitch a severed thumb with a 58% chance of avoiding gangrene.
Oh no! Okay, so that's stealing. But it's only stealing.
What can I do for you? You know about Eugene? How? Then, you know Phyllis suggested selling off Eugene's gold teeth. I didn't approve of the idea then, and I don't approve of it now. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. More than a few. Those teeth were his personal savings. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I? Yes, I suppose I must. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU.
I'm not gonna pry any further. I'ma go. Or as the meme goes, alright, I'ma head out. That one I don't mind using. I do not mind using that meme. That is a thing. Clearly female, if I were to guess. I never understood why, like, anatomy, when, like, all the guts and everything, they show the guts, like, outward. Can I stop whipping my gun out? Jeez. Like, one of the very few scenarios where I don't want to whip it out every 10 seconds.
Grave digging's a fine profession. You run into any trouble? Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. And I'll buy you a drink sometime.
I'm fine with a drink. That is a fat snake. Like, dear God, that is a chunk. Someone come up with a name for the chunk. Alright, this place is old, abandoned, and ruined. Which means me having my gun out is a wish. Time to be Sneaks McGee. You guys don't see a damn thing. Rifle. Oh yes, I got the rifle. It's a long gun too. Nice. I should probably still have the pistol, just in case.
Blood! Kill! Kill!
The melee boy first. I do like how the healing is quick access. Wait, what is an assault rifle considered? Assault rifle is considered heavy? So I'm using heavy ammo for this thing? Jesus, what kind of assault rifle am I rocking? mag pick. Yes, those are handy. I'm gonna skip on that one. There's gotta be a skill I can pick up later on that allows me to more effectively use mag picks. Ooh, that needs 4. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Can I? Okay. Alright, so I know what I need to find. I need to find 2 more mag picks. Which I doubt I'm just gonna find, you know, laying out and about. I'm gonna go house to house as I can. Am ninja. You do not know I exist. Oh, that bars my stamina. Yep, thank you. Alright, let's improve my range. Let's just dump points into range, I guess. That is a leg. Actually, I should. Yeah. Oh, it's an entire area transition. Okay. Thank you to the one person watching. I really hope that doesn't count as me, or otherwise I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Oh, Jesus. of novelty items. Toady do, head in the bathroom. Oh, bypass shunts are used to hack computers. Okay. If everything's so freaking automated, why do I even need that skill? Hold up, an LMG? Alright, so update logs and death of team. Can't even access this place. I don't think I'm gonna use the LMG. Ooh, a revolver? Hell yes. Buy 30 of that. I'm good on the light ammo for now.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice.
Sure grip. Alright. The ammo. I think I know what the next perk I'm going to invest into since I'm being so loot happy. What is those are called bagels! More sure grip. Sneaky sneaks upstairs. I think that's everyone. Another day of successful sneaking. Right. There we go. Tech kit. Okay. Where does one go? Oh, is this it? Hey! Stuff! Another mag pick. That 4 lock door. Stun baton. Not like I'm really actually in the habit of stunning. That's what I don't get. Why do you need like the lockpick skill or stuff like that if everything's just automated? Like, what's the point? Okay, I have 5 guns. That door needs 4 of them. They really just get tobacco. Selling that as soon as I get. Oh shit. Alright, now let's go see what's in this 4 lock door. Assault rifle, heavy ammo. Ooh, a plasma rifle! I'm gonna be holding on to that. More bypass shunts. Okay, yeah, so locked doors over locked chests. I think that's the lesson here. Broke my legs. Look like I got a perk point in that last one, though. So you might get perk points every 2 levels. So like, was that Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas? I can't remember. Wait, so these marauders are just workers who wanted free will? That's what I'm getting out of this poster. Marauders are just workers who wanted to be able to decide for themselves and didn't want to have to go through the entire levy system. Picked up my gun again. Esther.
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
I've got some time.
I know you do.
Thanks. I'll see to it that this medicine gets to the people who need it. Here, something for your trouble. Nothing personal, but I hope we never do business together again. Don't want to make a habit of consorting with smuggler types. You do have some cheek on you. Lucky for you, I kept a little contingency fee in case you tried to negotiate with me.
Alright, now is there like a,
Wish we had some better
Nothing I can do about that.
is there like a general shop? Maintenance division. Oh wait, maintenance division. Increases the amount. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Almost looks like a power armor station. Is there not like a general goods store somewhere? Okay, that's the cannery. Church. Ah, I was talking about it.
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. And before you ask, I'm all out of deluxe salt tuna. All I've got is gourmet. You ought to go have a talk with the boss, Reed Thompson. He's up in his tower above the cannery. Music to my ears.
Ooh, yeah, I want this. That's the bar. Alright, let's go back here.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing.
Actually, let's switch to that. Damn. Up we go.
Any food, it cooks.
Yeah, but Bess, the cannery cooks in sealed cans. Exact time, exact temperature.
The food swells during cooking, bursting the cans, so change the time or the temperature.
There's no controls for that. I'd have to dig into her guts, rig all manner of bypasses. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting Saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years.
How have you not?
If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations. Neither do I. The fault was entirely mine. I pushed them too hard. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified. Kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
I really don't like Spacer's Choice.
Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith for so politely listening to me as I ramble on.
Are you setting off for the Vale? Because I know my way around. I mean, in case you want a guide. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Engine tape.
Well, I am glad to hear that.
Handy.
Best of luck to you. And thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry. Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Oh, this I gotta hear.
To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all.
I like you.
The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it. On account of it being the only clean thing. Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it.
Thank you.
That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Finally, somebody with a fucking conscience. East. Of course we're going into the church.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp, so that's not a variable I can account for. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
How much you want to bet it's a porn book?
I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption.
I'm betting it's porn.
On the contrary, my position means that I am one of the few legally allowed to possess such items. But do not worry. You'll be safe since you are acting on my behalf. Glad we see eye to eye. It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
It's porn. It's gotta be porn. There's no way it's not porn. A priest that wants a handwritten journal. That's porn! Like, there's no convincing me that it's not. Botanical lab. Botched. They're not called failed missions, they're called botched missions.
Something you need? You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me.
like this rifle. Like, look at that. Fucking look at that. That looks nice. Damn, engraved and everything.
Here we go! Don't mess with us!
Angry Birds. Gotcha. Get to using this revolver. Cat, what the fuck are you doing up there? How did you even? Why did you even? Oh wait, that's the chair. Okay. It's not even the tallest thing in the room. Do they? Yeah, they respawn. Oh, wait, no, they're just in a different direction. Okay. Down is go to, left is attack, or down is go to, up is attack, what's left? It's another 4 lock door? No, it's a 2 lock. So it can't be that good. Dervish mist. I'm assuming that's supposed to be like pepper spray. Hunter's another mag pick. I know ESO Gaming is going to make something on this, and I am actually interested to see what he's going to do. This is giving me throwback vibes to Fallout. That's a toilet, I'm pretty sure. Did I wake you up? Oh. Oh, okay. I'm playing Outer Worlds, and I'm also streaming it.
How is it?
Fallout vibes all over again.
Alright.
I can already tell which group I don't like. I did a ding. Let's up my dialogue. That's good for now. I guess let's just do that. Alright, I'm gonna say high maintenance. Can I talk to you?
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
I like your coat.
Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Well, look at you, buzzing around the Aether with your very own ship. Rest of us gotta make do with the ground at our feet. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent.
Oh.
Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Appreciate it. Honest.
Alright. Adelaide McDevitt. Howdy doody.
Oh, gosh. If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. Yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots. It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? I can't say I blame you. Reed is positively soporific. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip him out of the cannery's guts and leave us be.
I got half of mine, too.
If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I do not like them.
Yeah, huh?
Oh. Okay, guess you don't have anything to say about it. You know what time it is? Side questing! Alright, she hated the life. Oh, honey, no. You going to be a bandit queen? Lady. Yoink. Damn, she's a hell of a shot.
Got it. Heads down.
The only way I can go about this without, you know, alerting someone.
Here we go! That's gotta hurt. Nice one!
Nice quick load. You have a rifle. I want that rifle. I just gave him a potato.
Got him all.
Yes, I want your rifle. Unequip. Yes. 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 Yes! Oh, this one doesn't take any.
Nice.
I... Cool. In the ass! Straight up the ass. kind of follow New Vegas. That is really quickly. Thank the sniper.
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
Oh, so these are robot braces. Okay. What, am I gonna build my own damn robot?
Easy.
Plasma rifle. Oh, okay, that's mine. Still appear to be just like, you know, like a smidge shell shocked.
Stand and deliver! Always wanted to say that.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways. What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong. And no serial dramas. I've been thinking about going back. I just gotta know if Lord Cavendish really is the masked marketeer. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to. I'm great at clarifying. I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma. I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it. I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse. I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them.
energy cells. I'm gonna need those for my plasma rifle. Pretty something. Look at it. Alright, but that's one on Discord is talking. Alright, this one. Copy. Paste. Cream in this. Oh, is that what these guys were? I just kind of came over and shot the fuck out of them. I'm willing to bet that's not nice down there, so I'm not gonna go there. Wait, now that I've got what's her nuts. Oh. I'll see what's in it.
Dang, that's impressive.
Oh, hello. Stuff. She trying to build a robot? I got my mag pick back. Another plasma rifle. Wait, no, this doesn't give me Fallout vibes. Well, it gives me a specific part of Fallout vibes. It gives me Fallout vibes of the Big MT. Big Mountain from New Vegas DLC, I think it was. I didn't pick a class. There's no classes. Not a bad thing. It's actually really cool.
I wanted to poke around in here.
Sentries. Interesting. Alright,
Shh.
You don't see me, you don't see me. I am invisible. Get in here. Howdy-do. It's time to hack. Disarm security fences. View recent logs. Can access logs, but it needs an update. Okay. I prefer my regular assault rifle. A sawn-off. Could work. What's my ammo like on it? Oh, I got plenty. Uses light ammo, apparently. defenses are off. I'm gonna try and wrench this thing in the ass.
Don't mess with us.
XP is very forgiving. Yeah, scrubs. I'll take this instead. Another revolver. Or an auto-mechanical. I believe the word is automaton. There's people out there. I don't want to attract the attention of the people. I'm a bush. Fuck it!
Okay, here we go. It's not working. Get past that armor.
Oh yes, we can. Looting mid-combat.
Can't get past that armor.
Yes, we can. He's just beating the fuck out of it with a hammer. That's how you mechanic things. May as well be fucking tanks of liquid nitrogen. If I can speak English. That face is just so dead. It's just staring into your soul. Pristine items are more than shiny. They have more durability.
The control room should be ahead somewhere and a touch to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
Shoot it in the ass!
Hey, moving out!
Wrong button.
Woo! We made it!
Security patrol initiated.
Heading back. Let's go!
Yeah, Moon Man on meth. What's this? Heavy ammo. I need to level up a couple more times so I can use the plasma rifle. Oh, dead person. Dead. Headless person. My bad. Well, that escalated quickly. Where's the loot? Ooh, 3 maglocks. Or mag picks.
Wow, you got that?
If that's some form of chess, even a kid could beat me. Oh jeez, this boy has a lot of messages. Okay, so this guy sucks at being a manager. He's being tossed out. He got fired. He tried a lawsuit and it didn't work. Okay.
Clever.
Oh, you used to play that all the time? I didn't. Oh, I'm up here now. Got a mag pick. Wait, what was that? One of those bypass shunts. Shunt! Shunts the fuck up! Ooh, what's down here? Easily distracted adventurer is easily distracted. Ooh, my lockpicking isn't that good. Open sesame. God, too many messages. Alright, let's explore a little bit more before we, Oh, a vendor. Stuff one up here, right? Okay, yeah. That's what I need to get. Ooh, peace. Yes, exactly. Okay, now that's giving me like vibes of BioShock with those vendors. Aha! I found garbage. Hidden garbage. Okay, so this is obviously where I need to be, so I'm gonna go explore the other way that I opened up. On my adventures of exploring, I decided to explore. Does more damage than my shotgun.
Everyone all right?
Melee meta confirmed.
Processing. Beginning security.
On the weak spot, I saw a couple 42s. There was a 58 in there. Taking all the shit that I really... What's my encumbrance at? 54 of 90. Okay. I'm not fat just yet. Sending technicians. Suspicious technicians. Look at that little thing. What are these called? Sprat. Boom. Optional of Chester's passcode. I don't have Chester's passcode, and I don't know who Chester is. Rude! I'm not fat!
Get away!
Higgins. Hello?
Go away, Phantom!
I'm not a phantom. This isn't Prey. Jumping down that way will break my legs. I do not wish to break my legs.
No, 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 just leave me alone!
Where in the hell are you, mysterious voice of Higgins?
No, 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 just leave me alone!
Yeah, that looks like a safe. Yeah, apparently I have no choice. I have to just climb down. Hey, chill that ass.
You're not real! You're not real! Get away from me, Phantom! Shoot! Scram! Most people? But I'm the only one left. No. Remember your first rule, Higgins. No arguing with the Phantoms.
Bruh.
See? See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
Definitely not insane. Back away slowly, I'll just be on my way.
Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna critic, Aetherwave personality, chairman of the board, galactic defender, Sisty Pig tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides. Braised, boiled, charred, skewered. Sprats are good eating, friend. Chock full of brain food.
Brain food my ass.
I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries. Repaired them, maintained, upgraded. Did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons.
Kinky.
You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead.
Ooh.
Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering.
I happen to
There's a
be
behavior
versed in
control
the
terminal
arts of
in the other
nerd.
room.
Yes.
It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, That reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
On what? A scrat ass? And he took a plastic shot to the knee. Oh, I get a companion perk. Okay. I need to upgrade my sneak. My sneak smiggy. Up that 5 points. That's doing good for... Actually, that needs a buff. And then... There. T and L. Oh my god, all these different manufacturers are just making up my menu. Spacer's Choice for skills, Aunt Mary or whatever for my perks, and now T and L for the companion. More engineering skill, yes. Alright, so now technically, what is my engineering skill? Oh, technically it's 44. Shit. Damn, Parvati or Parfait? I'm gonna just call you Parfait. Parfait up in my engineering. I've heard your name pronounced 3 times, but I still can't figure out how to pronounce it. Modify behavior. Parmagana! Whatever, I don't know. Hold up, that door was just open. Alright. Making the robots go crazy. My ankles. Found the shitter. Ride control armor. Bonus to stealth skills. Alright, now that I've made the robots go officially crazy, there's got to be some way I can access that area. I want all that scrap. Well, other than that, I guess it's time to go for the objective. Wait, so did I didn't even get a choice. Routing switch. Okay, so now I get to pick. And I really don't like that Emerald Vale place. Like, they actively bug me. Where's this way again? What's his? Ooh, I can get in.
Patrol mode.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Yep. I don't feel like being scalded.
Here we go! Don't mess with us.
The stuff on the lower shelf wasn't highlighted. I couldn't pick it up. Alright, now will this divert power?
Where to go? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the veil?
Next star, it goes out of business. Which I'm okay with. Are you blind? Blind robot is blind.
Here we go! Nice one!
I can't pick it up if it ain't highlighted. This man is missing a head. Thing. A bunch of things.
The last.
Now comes power. Let's open these doors so I can put access back in here.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
Come on, they fuck you over, Parfait.
Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that.
He was
I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
In that order. She wants me to save Edgewater, but Edgewater's being a dick! Ah! I don't even like Edgewater. Fine! I hope I have enough persuasion. Do I have anything to buff my social skills? Crackhead Moon Man. Two of them are winking at me. Do I have anything at all to... fuck. Oh, this is about to suck some hot ass. There's still the chunky snake. Dear Jesus. You are fat! Like, what did you eat? Is there any way I can check my reputation? Deserters are still neutral.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
I know, I'm trying. Marauders can't see us in the dark. Wild canids, on the other hand. We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway? Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe. The same Zoe who doesn't know a barrel from a trigger. Well, I've heard stranger things. You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble.
I still like your coat.
Let me know if I can do something for you.
friendly now.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it? You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you.
Damn it, now I feel bad!
You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth.
She's a druid!
The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. A human
a very
body is
morbid
rich with
druid.
nutrients. I have got a means to cure the plague, and I will not share that cure until Reed leaves town. Those are my terms.
Alright. Well then. Can I fast travel? Is there a fast travel? There's a fast travel! Okay, I apparently fast traveled to the wrong area. gotta be some goodies in here. Transport. Transports don't just have nothing. Yep, that's a wall. I'm looking at chat. There doesn't seem to be a stamina bar. I know that's gonna change.
That was quick.
That's the toilet. Whoa, whoa, hold up. Retro what? Retrofitted heavy power armor. Plus it has a nice scarf. I mean, you can't blame a man for having a sense of fashion, now can ya? All your heavy ammo. Bolter pistol. I like it. Oh, and it takes energy. Actually, I want to use that. Hold up. Oh, an engraved handle. I love it. Oh, companions actually jump, breaking my ankles. And you just teleport down. Alright.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts? Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town. Her son got sick with plague a couple years back. Company never gave us enough medication to treat the whole town. So I had to choose, you see. Adelaide's child or someone else's. She's never forgiven me. I don't expect she ever will. I have been holding this town together with both hands. You can't just expect me to leave. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home. I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic. The very notion is just grotesque. A raw vegetable? Why don't you just ask me to go chew the bark off of a tree? We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat saltuna here, and only saltuna. I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse. You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil? If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life.
Yes!
Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me. A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them. No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement. I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week. I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to tend to crop. She's what this town needs. I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
I did it! I fucking did it! That's a good. Can I fast travel from here? Please tell me I can. I can. Oh God, drunk Uno.
Fell into a transformer again?
Look at that. The snake's come back. never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward. This don't put us on even footing, you understand. But it is a start. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Yes! God damn it. Fast travel back as close as I can. Oh, it fires and burst. Okay. What's my assault rifle do? 28. Yeah. Boy here using an LMG. Still got a shit ticket. Didn't want them festering on a shelf. So you shoved them in a musty river. Broke my ankles. Hold up. I do like this laser pistol. Just pew pew pew. Oh, this cave. I actually passed this earlier. I'm moving the bed so that
Nice.
Ooh, how many mag picks do I have now? I have 6.
It's a fine new day in Edgewater. The cannery hums, streetlights and faces glow. I suppose this means the two of you were able to sort out the matter? I am somewhat taken aback by that, given the heat between her and Mr. Thompson. What deal did you strike with her, I wonder? From our own graveyard, just outside the gates. And Silas had not even an inkling. What do they pay the man for?
He spends all day digging graves, Vicar. Sir. Sometimes he's got to sleep.
Yes, of course. My reaction was unreasonable.
Flowers grow well enough, and creeping ivies, and the fuzzies that grow on rocks, but we don't eat none of that.
It is my understanding that none of the local life, plant or animal, is edible. Earth crops are grown in farms, not isolated cannery towns. Once the spark of life is fled, the mortal form is but unanimated matter, comprised of the same elements as the rest of the universe.
Oh,
we inter for the comfort of the living, not the benefit of the dead. While distasteful, I would judge Ms. McDevitt's actions beneficial to the greater good.
The greater good.
Only to the feelings of the living. The dead are no more concerned with their corpses than a snake is with the skin it shed. The greater good is to tend to the needs of the living, not the dead. Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn. Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted. Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death. The story of my life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bakonu journal. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew. Free spiritual counseling, someone to watch your back, not to mention a grown-up in the party.
Rude!
I'm 28.
Exactly. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well. Well, understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my penitentiary term. Left many an opponent bleeding in the prison yard. Of course, I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied? Fantastic. I promise you won't regret this.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. It is my esteemed pleasure to serve as your crew vicar, Captain.
Captain. That's all. Can I fast travel to the Unreliable? I can.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome! Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling. Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now. I got a captain.
I get a captain. I like her. She's cool.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
I'll be back. Nope, I have to climb from the bottom. Great.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Nice!
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Culkelly. In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Culkelly. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the Hope. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you. Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram. A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath. Science, that's how.
Did you just science me? Did you just fucking science me?
Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Or are these captain's quarters? Is this it? This appears to be it. Actually, I'm about to level up for that, so just give me that back. That's a toilet. That's a gun.
Thinking of tinkering at the workbench? I used to love watching Alex work. Now I like watching you.
Yeah, so This is my hidey spot now.
Hidey spot.
I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it? That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
So you're gonna call her it, not she?
Though my voice is currently pitched to suggest female, I possess no gender. Any pronoun preferred by the user is acceptable.
Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing. I am at your disposal, Ms. Parvati. You will find the technical schematics in the engineer's locker, though I'm afraid Captain Hawthorne has lost the owner's manual.
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch.
Ooh, sparkly. Where is the preacher?
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain? I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him. Oh, I'm anything but certain. But it's all I've got at the moment. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifest to track the Philosophist's off-world destination. Thank you, Captain.
Alright, well, I think I'm going to call it good for the stream here. Hope you've enjoyed so far. If you missed it but want to check back on it, it's going to be here on my channel. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave what you think about the game. And be sure to show your friends. That's all I can ask. I'm not going to ask you to like it, but if you like it, there's a button for that. If you're new, there's also a subscribe button. And hope you enjoyed the stream. See you later.